is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Word of Mom Radio here on the Word of Mom Media Network. I'm your host, Dori DeCarlo, and you know we are here week after week, show after show, breaking those myths that mompreneurs and business women, especially those of us building our businesses from home, that we're just dabbling in between bake sales and getting our nails done, we're not. We are smart, we are savvy, and we are sharing the wisdom of women in business and in life. And I'm looking forward to bringing today's guest onto our show. Casey Simmons' natural waves were awakened after the birth of her first child. Over 20 years of management, operations, and consulting prepared her to take on a leadership role at the helm of her own company. Extensive consumer research conducted revealed many women also experienced change in their hair texture and pattern due to hormones and need simple care routines for their curls that give them beautiful results. Royal Locks Curl enhancing products are built for simple routines so people can wear their natural curls more often. And as a curly-haired girl, gotta say, really like the product. So Casey, welcome to Word of Mom Radio.
Thank you. That's great.
I am excited. So I really do want you to take us on your journey.
Okay.
Because the hormones that changed the texture of your hair, it actually inspired you to start a company. Love it.
It did. Yes, I had no idea that this happened, by the way. I didn't, even though I had curly haired friends, I guess if you're not in it, you don't really ask like, hey, when did your hair turn curly or did you always have it? But I had straight hair until it was actually about, I'd say 6 months, maybe 10 months after my son was born, right when he was like ready to breastfeed wean. And I had a huge shift in hormones apparently. And my hair went super coarse. It felt really different. It went very frizzy and really fluffy from just being straight. So I didn't really know what was going on. And at that time, for me, I'm not sure if it's, everyone is like this. For me, being a first-time mom was much harder than I expected. I had these visions of, this, wonderful baby, and we're having such an easy time, and we're at the park. And it was sometimes, but a majority of the time, especially in the beginning, it was tough. I did not feel like myself. I didn't look like myself. Apparently, my hair definitely did not look like itself. This whole idea of my identity was changing along with this change in hair type. And frankly, I was feeling like a mess and I didn't like it. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked. And, there is something to be said for look good, feel good, look good. And I didn't feel like that. And it took me a really long time. Looking back, I probably was dealing with my own version of postpartum. That's a whole nother interview probably. But in that note, the whole part of that about the identity change, the feeling like wanting to feel like myself again, was there. And I wasn't quite sure. I was getting some help with some, mom support groups and things like that. So I was starting to get a handle on the mom part of it. The hair part was not even close. So I started to research hair care. And it wasn't until I was on a walk with a friend and they said, when did you get wavy hair? I was like, what are you talking about? And they noticed in the back that my hair had changed. And so I started researching and come to find out your hair can change. You have genes in your body that can sit dormant until you have a hormonal change in your life, like puberty, pregnancy, or menopause. And some people, unfortunately, have it due to, medical changes like chemo. And but all of a sudden, your hair can just pop and change. And within that time, it was several years later. During that time, it took me a long time to start researching curly hair, wavy hair. I had no idea that it was different. I was the girl who just went to the salon or went to the store and said, oh, this looks great. Like, let me just try this. But I will say, immediately upon finding a few products, come to find out, I didn't realize that it was the ingredients, right? But finding a few products, I went, wait a second, like, okay, hold on, like, this is actually fun. Like, when the poof is gone, when the frizz is gone, when it feels good again, it was like starting to, this new look was like starting to feel like me. I didn't know it, but, you know, one of the things I love about curly hair and the curly hair people that I've met and encountered is they're unique. They have a unique beauty. They have a unique inner personality. They're fun, approachable, very intelligent, creative. All these things come out, I think, in this expression, outward expression in your hair. And I was like, oh, I think this is me. I like it once it looked good, you know. So it took a while. But yes, in short, I actually did not found the company. I found it because we were looking for a change in our life after some time when my youngest daughter was born. So we went through another change. And when she was born, I had done a lot of volunteer work, which I loved. I've been on the boards of, you know, many reputable, really hardworking, change-making organizations and communities, but I was ready to do something different. And through curly hair research, through looking to go back to work again, we actually stumbled upon this business. And so we bought the business. It was about 5 years old. So we bought Royal Lux.
I love that.
And I didn't, at the time, it was a really great, essentially Amazon listing, major, you know, customer base, really good, strong founding Amazon listing. But through my own experience, fortunately, I had found the curly hair community by this time, just a wealth, as you know, of information, support, empowerment, really beautiful, strong, mostly women, lots of men too. You wouldn't realize there's lots of men in the curly hair community. But when I found that, I realized really what I wanted to do with this is take it from a really great Amazon listing to a brand. And I think we've done that.
I think that's fascinating. So
Thank you.
Tell us about the whole Royal Lux Curlcare system that you have and why it is so different from the things that are out there already.
So part of this that resonated with me was I really like, in my own way, I love hair, I love fashion, I love looking good in my own version, feeling good. I think it's like a true part of who we are is to express that. But I do not like and enjoy the long, cumbersome process of some things that were out there. I don't enjoy like long regimens of makeup. I don't enjoy the long, overwhelming routines that are out there for some hair care. I just enjoy products that work. I enjoyed when I first found the curly hair community. People out there put together a system for me. They're like, no, you don't need to do all this. Like, just start here. Start with the basics. This is the shampoo you need. This is the conditioner and why. Try one styling product, see how it goes, then start adding. But when you first look at curly hair, it's really overwhelming. There are a lot of different types of hair. There are a lot of different types of curls. There's a chemistry that goes into each different hair type and each different ingredient in a product. That's not going to work for everyone. And people don't realize that in the beginning. And I really wanted to make products in a system that went together that were curl enhancing, that would really just work for you if you were new to curly for all those reasons we mentioned. What if you even started wanting to embrace your curls? You wanted to stop straightening your hair after like 20 years. And even though you had curly hair your whole life, you had no idea what to do, right? So there's a system that goes into this that's very easy. And because the ingredients work so well together, they're beautiful. Like, you don't sacrifice beauty for the simple routine. And that's what I like. You can find, you know, products in a system actually that work well for the benefit that you're seeking, not necessarily your curl type. There's a difference. So you can say, I'm dealing with frizz. Great, here you go. This is what you need to do. And then start adding for fun, right? But it doesn't have to be this overwhelming system. And I really love that we are out there there are lots of moms like me. There are lots of college students like me, lots of professional women, men too, that just they really don't enjoy and have the time to do the long routines on a daily basis. Maybe, for fun on the weekend, try different things. But on the reg, you just want something that works. It's simple. You figure it out, and it really looks pretty. You don't sacrifice style. I think a lot of that is because our products, the ingredients, they're actually multi-benefit, and you don't find that too often. For instance, our styling product is pretty much 3-in-1. It's got a conditioning agent, it holds, and it brings out the shape. It's a cream and a gel all in one. And usually you find a cream or a gel, and people put them together and see if they work, and that's great. But most of the products are multi-benefit, and you don't find that too often.
I love that. Well, as I said, our listeners know I will always try a product before we share a product. And I have to say, I washed my hair yesterday with it because I wanted to see day 2. Yep. And day 2 was just dampening my hair just a teeny bit. And I have such fun curl. It just cracks me up. And you see my grandson with it. And my granddaughter yesterday, I saw her, and my daughter-in-law was like, Mimi got a perm. And I said, no, this is Mimi's hair. Where do you think your husband gets those curls from?
That's so funny.
Because they haven't seen me with curly hair in so long, because I had a keratin treatment done, and I run my straightener through it. That's it. I'm finished. But it's so fun because it's not weighted down. It doesn't very often. You put those products in your curls, and your hair crunches.
Yeah.
And you can't, you shouldn't touch your hair because it will keep it from getting frizzy. I'm somebody who likes to play with my hair. I just do. And the fun part of it is that the curls are nicely separated. They go right back, and they're good to the touch. So it really is a good product. And I like that you send your directions, because people with curly hair don't realize that, any style hair, you are going to create frizz in your hair when you're using that towel and rubbing your hair and stuff. So explain that little trick that you share, when it comes to drying your hair.
So first, before you dry, what we say is there are 2 basic types of styling. First, of course, after you do the awesome sulfate-free curl-enhancing shampoo, conditioner, this whole regimen. But there are 2 basic types of styling that people like, either putting products in sopping wet hair, like I put it in the shower, and you rake it evenly through, or damp hair where, you've taken a microfiber towel or t-shirt and wrung out the hair so it's not dripping, sopping wet, and then you put the product through. But what I like to do, what my stylist taught me, was actually, and what I learned later from the community, the curly hair community, you twist your hair like this, and you can twist it in several ways. Similar to the African American Caribbean style of twist out, but really just what you're doing is you're twisting your curls. Some people like to just take your hair and scrunch them like this. That's fine too. For some people, especially wavy hair like mine, it goes a little wonky at the end. It might look more zigzag. So I like to take the curls and the pieces and twist them. And come to find out, it also sets the curl pattern. If you've ever had like a cowlick, you can train your hair. You just twist them in different ways every time you style, or even put in leave-in conditioner, twist them, and then you just kind of let go, and they'll find their natural bounce and flow. And even more ringlet curls will do that. You just take either, if you want big, voluminous waves, you take thicker sections of twist. If you want mini, small curls, you take, smaller sections. And then letting it either air dry or plopping, where you like do a turban on top of your head, or take a diffuser on, the medium setting, and it really brings out the bond. It's all different for all different kinds of hair, and it's so much fun to play with once you have a couple different ways that's not overwhelming.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break, say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Word of Mom Radio. Get early access to Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank on digital today. Buy or rent the heroic animated adventure that's nonstop fun for the entire family. Michael Cera and Samuel L. Jackson voiced the hilarious comedy about an underdog samurai's journey to become top dog in a world full of cats. Rated PG from Paramount Pictures. She is brave. She is bold. She is you. And we want to tell your story. Are you ready to share your journey with us on Word of Mom Radio? Go to wordofmomradio.com and register as a guest. We want to tell your story because when you win, we all win.
We all know a survivor. Some of our friends and family have made it through difficult times. Some of us don't make it. Losing a loved one to cancer, a car accident, or any other unfortunate event can be crippling and unavoidable. But one of the hardest subjects to talk about is suicide. Too often our youth decide that leaving this place is easier than facing the struggle forced upon them every day. More than 1 in 4 children go through some form of bullying or another. Most of us survive with scars, but for some, the inner demons created cannot be recognized or treated in time to ensure they make it through. Bullying in every form is very much avoidable. It starts with me, and it starts with you. This is Kelly Carius from No Such Thing as a Bully, reminding you to do your part when you see bullying happen. If you don't know what that is, call 403-447-4404 or go to nosuchthingasabully.com.
Don't let the name fool you. StadiumBags.com is not just for sports fans. Our clear bags make it easier for you to get into any venue that you go to. And in today's world where we are so concerned about germs, the materials that our bags are made with are strong enough to stand up to the solvents that you can use to clean your bag, so you know you come home safely. So check out StadiumBags.com. You'll see why we are the clear choice, because safety, it's in the bag. And we're back here on Word of Mom Radio. We are talking with Casey Simmons about Royal Locks and the whole Curlcare system that is behind these wonderful products. I myself am a scruncher. So I do my hair wet in the shower and over my head, and scrunch from underneath, make sure that I get to the nape of my neck, which is where big frizz can happen, the underside of your hair, you want to make sure. And then I flip it over and scrunch up. Then that's it, so that's how my stylist, but I love the idea. I'm going to do that with the curling it together and trying to do the chunkier curls and stuff. It is fun. And this is the time of the year. If you're going to let your hair be curly, this is the time of the year to let your hair be curly. You just don't want the frizz. And that's why, again, what makes it guard against the frizz? Do you know?
Yes. Well, I am from the panhandle of Florida, so I have a love-hate relationship with humidity because actually when I'm in a more humid place, my curls come out more. It's the moisture. They're not reaching, the strands aren't reaching for that atmosphere. That's what makes frizz. Your hair actually has, on the hair shaft, it has, the pieces of hair. Well, literally you can't see it, but it will reach out into the air and try to grasp the moisture. And that's why people say, oh, I have flyaways. It's frizz looking for moisture. And so if you can put water on your hair with products, it will actually bond, a chemical bond to the shaft in your hair. It locks the moisture in. It has it there and it can't escape, and it keeps the frizz from wanting to pop out.
Are there products, because, let's face it, curly hair girls and guys are always known for using different products. Are there products that work best together as a system?
Yes. Yes. Especially our products work really well as a system. They're curl enhancing for a reason. The ingredients in certain products play well together, right? If you've ever had let's say a leave-in conditioner and you put it with a styling product and it made little white beads in your hand, that's how you can test it first. It doesn't mean that those products are bad. It means that the ingredients are not reacting well together. And it's not a big deal if you get it in your hair, it will come out, just by wiping out or scrunching out. But when you use products as a system, not only do you avoid that, you actually can enhance your curls over time, because we think that it's a myth that changing up your products all the time provides better results. Really what happened, I think that comes from people who use heavier products or products with sulfates. They get the buildup. And then, of course, when you change up those products and really what you're doing is just clarifying or rinsing them out. So people tend to think, oh, if you switch your products up all the time, it will provide better results. But I actually think that's a myth. I think that your hair has better results over time because the hair, the bonds, the molecules, the hair shaft, the sebaceous glands with the oils, all of this regulates in your body and reacts to the ingredients in the products. And when you have products that are made together to work together, like our ingredients, they're actually made to work as a system because those ingredients work well together. So the shampoo works well with the conditioner. The conditioner works well with the styling products. They have similar ingredients. And once you start using them, as in my case, I noticed when I first found Royal Locks through this whole pregnancy awakening experience with the waves, I'm not kidding. I think within the first week or two, no joke, of using the sulfate-free shampoo that I didn't know existed or that was important, I saw less frizz and I started to see a bounce. Like the curls really do come out when you use curl enhancing products. And all that means is the ingredients are meant for curly hair. There's a difference. I didn't know it, years ago. Products for straight hair actually have different pH levels. They'll have different ingredients in the conditioner. So when you use products and ingredients meant for curly hair and actually meant for your curly hair benefit you're seeking, you will find over time the results just get better and better.
I find that really interesting and very true. And people don't realize, what you put on your hair, the sulfates, the things that are in these products, it's designed to make it bubbly and give you lots of foam when you wash your hair.
Correct.
You don't want foam.
Right.
It's not about the foam, but people are geared to that whole, it's like when you wash dishes. If you shut your water off, you wet your dishes and you wet your sponge and you put your cleaning pot and shut the water off, you can wash a whole sink full of dishes.
That's
and
right.
have plenty of stuff. It is the water that washes it out, and people just keep adding more. So they just don't get it. It's why you wind up using more and more conditioner, because you're washing your hair with something that is drying out your hair. It's killing all the oil that's in it, all of these different things. So I think it's so important for products like this that are out there and educating people, making them realize that, look, you can put things in your hair that's actually going to make your hair healthier the longer you're using it, because it's putting all the things back into it. So that's why I like what you are doing. And again, as a curly-haired girl, it's just fun to find things that you can use that don't have, like I said, have that crunchy where your hair just, it moves. I remember putting things in my hair and the wind would blow and it would move like a whole block. And then it would move back. But every time it moved back, it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. I had that Rosanna Dana hair. Or Diana Ross hair and this little bitty face that I have and all this hair. So I always had to pull it back and keep it off my neck. I mean, summertime, forget it. If my hair's not in a bun, it's getting chopped off, which is why my hair's so long, because I constantly keep it up when it's hot out. So,
well, and, it's interesting because we learn so much about this. My background was not a chemist. It wasn't a, market researcher. But when you really start to get into your community and your products and you really dive in and want to know everything that the customer needs and wants, you learn a lot. And we learned through major focus groups of all of our current customers what they really loved and needed. And we have an intense curl panel. So we actually test new products and current products on a huge array, probably about, at any given time, about 60 or so people that actually test our products. We ask them questions, exactly what you're saying. Is this drying? What does this feel like for you? What do you need? So that we can constantly provide what their hair really wants, what they're seeking. And the panel is diverse. It's diverse hair types. It's diverse curl types. It's diverse skin types. Because all of this goes together and how the products work for each one. So we really learn from them, from people. And you just reminded me, one of my favorite reviews I've ever read was this girl said, listen, I could say a lot, I'm summarizing, but she basically said, listen, I could say a lot about ingredients and styling techniques and yada, yada. What I really loved was that my boyfriend won't quit running his fingers through my curls, and he couldn't do that before, and he loves it. So it was really, And we get a lot on my boyfriend or my wife really likes the smell of my hair. It's just funny what people like, but that's all packaged into like a really good product, right? Because you don't get that unless you have all of the things working together.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I can't even say, again, now it makes me, again, because I like to play with my hair, and it's true. You can run your fingers through it.
Yeah.
When you have curly hair, okay, for those of you out there, you wonderful straight-haired people who have no idea about this, when you have curly hair, I mean, really, your fingers just get stuck in it. And then you're gently trying to make sure you're not ripping your hair apart. So, yeah, you're right.
The joke is, you can hide things in there.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah. I used to hide lunch.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Yeah. It all comes together. It all works. I think it all goes into what your products that work for you, your lifestyle, what you need, the benefit, the ingredients. It's all there. It all.
What have been the biggest challenges for you to overcome, Lucy?
Oh boy. Well, I'm probably at this point it's 2022, right? So I possibly sound like a broken record. But it was COVID, supply chain issues, big time. Part of what we're really proud of is not only that our products are multi-benefit, they're curl enhancing, they honestly have, ingredients that work really well together. But the reason why we're proud of that is because we took the time to invest in really creating and working with our chemists on products that work, that have the curl enhancing ingredients that work together. Part of that was moving production from overseas to the U.S. And unfortunately, we didn't realize we were halfway through with this process that is very involved, by the way. You don't just change your address. It's an insanely involved process. And it was halfway through and COVID hit. So we couldn't go back, right? We couldn't just say, okay, let's keep ordering from this overseas, supplier, production, whatever, what we were doing. We thought it was really important for our customers, for their hair. It's in the best interest of curls to move it to the U.S. for lots of other reasons. And we really wanted to keep going with that. So in the process of moving, we got to clean up the formulas a bit, make them better performance. That was the best part, was do all these things like the focus interviews, the curl panels. We did all of that when moving production to the U.S. to make sure that if we were going to make this change, it was going to be for the better. And we're really proud of the outcome. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we had major supply chain issues. We couldn't find bottles. We couldn't find one ingredient, that was needed in the whole vat of, say the shampoo, whatever, of a product. So we were delayed immensely. It caused stockouts. I mean, it was this whole mess, but we got through it and we've got everything in stock now. And we're just trying to boost up from that, I guess you would say, get the word out, trial, awareness, everything's fine now. It just took a long time.
That's awesome. So how have you been finding that? We always talk about the work-life balance and what a joke. It's really the work-life juggling act. How have you been doing as a mom, small business owner?
Right. I'm usually pretty good about compartmentalizing and stopping and making time and having a balance. But I will say that first year that we were making all these changes, it was really hard to come up for air. I felt like I was not focused as much on other things. And it was really hard to make a conscious effort. I've never had to do that before, to have a balance. Usually it was just, okay, this is the time period during the day that I'm doing X. And then this is when I'm hanging with family and kids and friends. But when you're constantly thinking about something that's important, because it doesn't just turn off, right? Like when you're the CEO or business owner or manager, sometimes there's no stopping your brain. There's no stopping things that are happening in other time. It's just there. So you have to figure out a way to make time for you. Fortunately for me, I'm pretty good about most of the days. I had a hard stop when the kids got picked up from school, and I love that. Even if it's like half an hour. I like to pick them up from school. Or be there when they get and then I'll do other things afterwards and make up for it. But having that time, actually, that literal school bell, was pretty good for me and my brain to say okay, I'm going to power through really hard until then. and then I'm going to hang with them. Or I actually started making it a priority. I really wanted to do something for myself, whether it was by myself, with a friend, or with my husband, or with family once a week. Like that was super important, and not including the weekend. Like once a week during the week, whether it was a half an hour walk, or I love to do things on the water, just, I like to bike, or anything that I could do. I set it in my calendar like a meeting, and it would pop up, and I'd be like, okay, it's me time, and it would help, and it would actually rejuvenate me a lot.
That's great advice. I really like that. So, Casey, as we're wrapping up, what do you want to leave our listeners with? And please let them know how to reach out to you and get your products.
I will. I want to leave you with sharing the beauty that is curly hair. Curly hair to me is an outward expression of a very unique and special inner personality. And I want to share that with the world and with the curl community in very simple ways. Great products that work. They don't have to be overwhelming. They work together in simple styling routines, and you're left with beautiful curls that make you look and feel good and want to conquer your day. And you can reach us on all things social. Let's see. Instagram and Facebook are at Royal Locks Curlcare, and TikTok is at Royal Locks CC, and our website is www.royallocks.com.
All of Casey's links will be live on Blog Talk Radio and wordofmomradio.com. And I thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today, Casey. As a curly-haired girl, I really have to say, great product. So kudos to you. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. And for all of you tuning in, thanks so much for being here. We're going to close out with our fabulous theme song from Smith Sisters and the Sunday Drivers. So till next time, this is Dori DeCarlo saying go out and create a marvelous you. Bye for now.
She is sure, she is strong, she is